The true extent of the abusive culture in the Australian Defence Force has today been laid bare for all to see. The sordid details are contained in a 1,500-page report released by the federal government. Until now, only the executive summary of the DLA Piper study was public after a Freedom of Information investigation by this program. Now it's even more clear that the abuse runs deep, it still goes on, and it's usually unpunished. Hayden Cooper reports.
At 75, John Atkins is a patriotic Australian. He lives in a caravan park on the New South Wales Central Coast. But for all of his life, he's been dealing with a horrific memory from his days in the Navy.
I'm sorry, frightful, unacceptable behaviour.
He signed up at 13 years old in 1951. The abuse and shame that followed has haunted him ever since. It was the experience of initiation.
And I was grabbed by about 4 older boys and forced to the ground, and with people chanting and yelling and so forth. I then had bucketful of slops fed down my throat. I passed out, but then I was ushered out to the rear of the gymnasium on the left-hand side, where there were change rooms and toilets. And there were another group of boys there, and I got honey plastered over my bum and a wooden Indian club handle rammed up my bum. I was raped.
John Atkins is the oldest person cited in the DLA Piper report, the earliest case of abuse.
Ruined my life.
That his case is just one of almost 1,000 gives an indication of the extent of this review and this problem. The complete report is shocking. There are cases of rape, sodomy and bastardisation. These photos given to 7:30 by one former Defence member show the mild cases of Defence Force initiation. The report reveals the extreme end of such examples. Boys being stripped naked, pinned down and covered in excrement. So-called regimental showers, where naked cadets are scrubbed with a wire brush. And a tradition called nuggeting, in which boot polish is rubbed on a cadet's genitals. A whole chapter investigates the treatment of young boys in the military, and the review finds that from the 1950s to the 1980s, Defence and successive governments failed to protect them.
There was constant bashing with a gym shoe, ridiculous press-ups, cold showers, and a host of other things like that, which are unacceptable today, then, or at any time.
And just as sexual predators have targeted young people in churches, the review notes a similarity.
There is no reason to think that such people would not have targeted relevant parts of the ADF.
Yet more disturbing, some cases of abuse are current.
It is not a phenomenon that can be regarded as just historical.
At the Defence Force Academy, there's an allegation of a sexual assault with other cadets watching on through a window. And there are more incidents of the filming of consensual sex.
Some, possibly many, perpetrators of abuse or mismanagement of allegations of abuse in the past have not been called to account and or rehabilitated.
The report raises examples from the 1990s, in which 24 cases of rape were reported, but no action was taken.
It is possible that male cadets who raped female cadets at ADF in the late 1990s and other cadets who witnessed such rape and did not intervene may now be in middle to senior management positions in the ADF. Those possibilities carry serious risks for the ADF.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Deborah Needler is one victim who's been waiting for justice. As a young sailor, one of the first female Navy engineers, she was raped by a colleague in the early 90s. Earlier this year, she told 7:30 her story.
It's a hard task trying to figure out what are you going to do with the rest of your life now that they've broken you.
Now she's wondering what will become of the DLA Piper report.
Start with saying sorry. What would it mean to me for an apology? A lot. A whole lot. Like, I lost my career over this. And that's the hard part.
The minister still hasn't decided what to do.
You know, if there's going to be a Royal Commission, I think at the end of the day it's going to have to come to that for the way to get answers. It's just, I just hope that, you know, the Defence Minister has what it takes to be able to get us those answers and to, you know, draw a line in the sand. It's got to come to a stop.
John Atkins doesn't want a Royal Commission. He just wants the Navy of the future to be nothing like the Navy of his past. But his own experience makes him deeply sceptical.
How do I feel about it continuing? It's an absolute disgrace because, frankly, I believe every officer knows, any officer today knows, and there's a code of silence. And not only is there a code of silence, but unfortunately, for those of us who survive, there is what I call an unholy alliance, which is a bonding so that it will never come out. I am disgusted. I'm sorry, and I'm disgusted.
And the Defence Minister says the government is, quote, not too far away from announcing whether it will hold a Royal Commission into the abuse. We'll keep on the case.